Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world.
I've been looking around for salvation. I've been looking around for the truth. All around me I see frustration, and I looked all over till I found you. I sit and listen to your stories, and you're telling me, please don't worry. There's a lot in this world you should know, and love in life is where you should go. If you're looking for somewhere to go, if you're looking for someone to know, if you're looking for someone to guide you, then love in life will guide you. I know that life outside is so hard. There's a lot of things that can tear you apart. I know the road sometimes feel lonely, but remember you're not the one and only.
Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Let me get this right. Sorry, guys, I'm absolutely pissed off. I know exactly what's going on YouTube, and I'm going to spill the beans tonight. There is a certain person in South Africa. Her name is Ingrid, who is a YouTube moderator. She has admin access to people's accounts, and she has once again, at the last moment, blocked one of our live streams, which is why we now have to use this secondary channel. And I'm not making this shit up. And she happens to be a very good friend of a certain YouTuber who lives in the Eastern Cape. And this is deliberate, it's vindictive, and I'm going to show you the proof that there's no reason that my live stream should be blocked. Let me show you my channel dashboard. Okay, here. So guys, that's what's going on here. YouTube sucks, okay? It really sucks, and it's a good little marketing tool, but we certainly don't have any interest in using it for most of the live streams I do. I pull down off YouTube and I put them up onto lovinglivetv.com, because there no one F's with us. You know, this is just disgusting, it's ridiculous, and I'm having a bit of a rant, and I think you can understand why. Because there was absolutely no reason for this idiot who works for YouTube to do what they did tonight. And this is not the first time. They've done this a few times now. And thankfully, because they pull this sort of shit, we do have other options that we can use. But I am absolutely friggin' furious about this because it's just most unprofessional by a YouTube platform. Most unprofessional, and that person, Ingrid, who lives in South Africa and is a good friend of another YouTuber. Shame on you. All right. Now that I've got that out of the way, guys, tonight I'm talking to the great Dr. Andre Hattingh, who embarked on a huge tractor ride trip through 6 provinces of South Africa. Lovely guy and got his heart in the right place. Let's get Andre on. Let's get the show on the road. Here we go.
Hi, Scott, can you hear me? I'm very well, thank you. From quite a chilly White River in South Africa tonight. It is indeed, yes. We're privileged to be able to live here. Yeah? Yeah?
I've just got there you go. I hope you can hear me now, guys. Okay.
I can hear you.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I changed to another spot, but yeah. Okay. I think you can hear me now. If you can hear me now, just put 1 in the side chat. All right. I'm going to continue. Andre, we're... come on, guys. You can hear me now, surely. Okay. Okay, now they can hear me. That's fine. All right. Good. All right. I hate it when YouTube throw a curveball, but anyway. All right. Now, Andre, you've just embarked on... Yeah. You've just embarked on a huge tractor ride. And it was supposed to be 2,500 kilometers, but it's now landed up being over 3,000 kilometers.
Indeed, yes.
What happened?
Let me explain to you. We were asked by Mahindra, because we drove a Mahindra tractor, to go to Hartswater, which is actually in the Northern Cape. So we did not only 500 kilometers further, we also added an extra province, because that was the only service station available to us, because the tractor had to be looked at, see if it needed anything done. Technically, luckily it didn't. So we landed up in Hartswater as well, which took us just over 3,000 kilometers at an average speed of about 26 kilometers an hour.
Wow. Now, okay, so tell us about all these little towns you went through and your experience when you went through them.
I have to tell you that the South African public is absolutely the most amazing in the world. We were received so well. Scott, you have absolutely no it was fantastic. We were received very, very well in each town we went to. Our first night, we actually received a lot of people, and then of course I have to speak about Tabazimbi. In Tabazimbi there must have been, I'm guessing because I couldn't count, about 200 vehicles, motorbikes, tractors and so forth driving with us. That includes a fire brigade, the police, traffic department and so forth. So that was actually massive. And each town that we got to, we had people arranged a dinner for us, that we could speak. Of course, as you know, we were trying to sell our cookbook as well, to raise funds for children's surgery, called Cooking with Doc, and so on. So we were so well received. I have absolutely only praise and thanks to the population, especially the farming population of South Africa. And of course, we have a church in South Africa called the NG Kerk, and they made their halls available to us quite often. And the ladies, they gave us soup and bread. And so forth. It is the middle of winter, so some places was -8.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Now, okay, now you spent what, 12 to 14 hours a day for weeks, sitting in this little tractor cab and driving
Yes.
at some crazy speed. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't get a bunch of speeding fines traveling at 26 kilometers per hour. Now,
Yes.
what do you think about when you're sitting there in that cab and you just see the road slowly going by? I mean, what goes through your head? There must be something that you think about.
Yes, my first thought, and it's a continuous one, and I ask myself, is what the hell are you doing in the tractor? What? And I must tell your listeners, guys, doesn't matter how annoyed your wife is with you, do not ride in a tractor for 3,000 or 2,500 kilometers. And then, of course, I drive along and I look at the farms. I can see this guy need to spray his cattle. It's got some ticks in it. This guy need to do this. This guy's fence need to some mending. So as I drive along, I criticize the farmers for not doing whatever I think they should be doing, because I have all the time in the world, especially in the Free State. I mean, once you cross the Vaal River, I have to say, Scott, the road turned from good to really, really bad. And then Hertzogville, those areas, I mean, some places we had to drive at 7 kilometers an hour, but 50% of the time we drove next to the road. In some places which was much better than the actual tar road. So that was very, very slow. And that specific day, I was in a tractor, I think, for about 13 and a half hours, which is a very long time in a tractor. And I almost ran out of fuel.
Wow.
We were supposed to put in fuel in Voorheesburg, I think the town is called, before Clarence. And we got to, I think it's Voorheesburg. And then we got to the town and we stopped at the first petrol station. There was no fuel. So I said, oh, okay. And so the guy said, but no worries, there's the one around the corner. So we dutifully went around the corner. They were empty as well. Had no diesel. And so I was on reserve and I had to get to Clarence. And I think there's about 46 kilometers more to go. So we got there by great luck. When I stopped in Clarence eventually and I told the guy to fill up, the tractor takes 110 liters. And the guy put in 110.2 liters, which means I had fuel in the tractor. And can you imagine, this is now night time. This is now quite late evening because we drove so long. Wow. And the last thing you need after a 13 and a half hour ride in the tractor is to run out of fuel.
Yeah.
So luckily we made it.
Fantastic. Now, what did that guy who was going to accompany you on a bicycle, did he pitch up?
My friend TJ,
yeah.
He did indeed. Yes, he pulled away with great fanfare with me, with great fanfare. About 2 kilometers out of town, he fell down. And he wisely decided that, listen, cycling is maybe not for me. So he phoned his son to bring his motorbike. So he did the rest of the trip by motorbike, which made a lot of sense to me, except, of course, in the Free State, where it was -8 in the morning and so on. So that was very, very cold. I actually felt very sorry for TJ for driving that freezing temperature. When I got into my cab, it was -1, and I can see poor TJ riding in front of me at 26 hours, all bundled up and huddled up, frozen to death. But he made it. I must say, he's a tough guy. He can take it.
Yeah. Now, I guess when you pitch up in one of these little towns and you say I'm doing this 3,000 kilometer trip on a tractor. Some people must say you're absolutely out of your blooming mind. Well, what sort of comments do you get from people?
Yes, some people do say, don't you have anything better to do to raise funds? No, I don't. I don't have any other method of raising funds. One guy suggested very strongly, again, that I sail around the world in a yacht. And I explained to him as well, listen, the sea is full of sharks and I don't have a yacht, but I do have access to a trucker. But most people applaud the effort. There was a lady in South Africa that actually rode as well on a tractor, kind of similar time than we did, and she did that to raise some funds for her daughter that I think, if I remember correctly, went to America for a rope pulling competition or something, and she was riding to collect funds for her daughter. And I thought it was absolutely admirable. And I really thought to myself, I hope that girl realized what her mom is going through to raise that money for her, because the mom did 1,600 kilometers, I believe. And her tractor was not even as modern as mine. She didn't have a cab. And whenever you see a picture of her, you can see a big smiley face. So I think that lady is absolutely great, and so forth. So I think in future she must get in touch with me, and maybe we can write together for a piece. You never know, because I really thought, if you can do that for your daughter, I mean, that takes some going, really, really, because it's a tough thing to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, you're going to be doing this again next year?
Yes, sir, we are. We do it, and we do it every year. This is supposed to be our fourth, but unfortunately, COVID got in the way, so we didn't do that. So this is our second one we just completed now. We were so well received, and I must say the interest in the next years is very, very big. So hopefully next year we're going to be quite big. We already have a TV station or that want to do parts with us. This time as well, we had a cameraman with us all the way called Hank. What a fantastic bloke he turned out to be. Because when I put in the order for a cameraman, I said, listen, let it be a luscious blonde, please, and Hank got up, and I thought, oh, my hell. I mean, look at this. Okay. He's everything but a luscious blonde, but it turned out to be great. I really appreciated him, and his camera work is fantastic. He had a great sense of humor. Look, Scott, to be able to succeed in anything like this, you need a great sense of humor. If you lose your humor on a trip like this, you lose the trip. That is a fact of life. And he had the most amazing humor. He stuck it out of us. I mean, he was a youngster, and TJ and myself, we're not exactly young. We're the old toppies. So we gave him a lot of grief in the beginning just to test his nettle, and he passed with flying colors. So we're looking forward next year if he comes along again. Of course, he did a photography for Mahindra. He was their official photographer. They are making, of course, a movie about it and advertising and so forth worldwide, which rightly so. They should benefit from lending us a very expensive tractor. And then we're looking forward next year to have Hank with us again. Failing a luscious blonde. Sorry, ladies, I'm not prejudiced, but it's a figure of speech down here, and so forth. So, and we're also going to have, hopefully, a TV station that's going to travel with us all of the way.
Wow. Now, one of the most important things that I know with Loving Life TV, and you would have found this with your trip, is the team. And it sounds like you have an amazing team. Before I hand this question over to you, I've got to tell you, I have an amazing team.
Yes.
I've got, Marlena, she's been with me for 5 years, I guess, about 5 years, organizing live streams. And, we're really good friends. We chat every night. Then there's Nat, who looks after our forum. She's absolutely amazing. I mean, the information she puts up there, I always, for people who aren't registered on lovinglifetv.com and don't get the daily email, guys, you don't know what you're missing. Because that daily email, it's not just the videos I put up and links to the live streams I hold, but there's this forum, and there are 20 to 30 links in there, and they cover everything. They cover the war in Russia, they cover COVID, the snake bite shit. Sorry, YouTube. They cover South Africa. They cover everything.
Yes.
And there are videos in there. There are articles in there. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And she's got almost like a fellow who works closely with her, and that's Marius, or also known as Viking Boer, here in the side chat.
Yeah.
And he puts up a lot of great stuff on the forum as well. So, those are the key primary people who work with me. And without them, we wouldn't be able to achieve what we do with Loving Life TV. Now, you've got an exceptional team working for you. Take us through your entire team.
Right. I honestly, I have the easy job. I have to pitch up and look pretty. That's what I need to do.
You don't wear a blonde. Sorry, you don't wear a blonde wig, do you? When you say I have to look pretty.
Not yet. I'm losing my hair. I'm probably going to have to go for one soon. But but yeah, I must say, Surika, our secretary, she's a wizard and a genius as far as arranging and organizing is concerned. And of course, we have an event planner, which a sole job in exercise and life. And Elise, she arranged with all the farming communities, with the co-ops, with the Ingekerk people. She arranged our receptions in town and those kind of things. And then, of course, Joyce, my wife, she's responsible for accommodation and making sure that we our safety on the road. You know, it's not so safe in South Africa anymore. Luckily, we had from the TVL South Africa, the Old Transvaal Landbou Unie. We had radios from them, which we're very, very grateful for. And those radios, we could speak to the whole of South Africa. So if we had a need, or if we were in danger at any time, we could call on the radio and they will respond immediately. Luckily, we didn't need that, but it was great assurance to us, and especially for the people at home, that they could speak to us anytime, you know, and so forth. That was great. So now the teamwork, I must say, and there's a lot of other people which I didn't mention. You know, there are too many to mention, but it is a massive exercise. And then, of course, you know, the guys from Mahindra, yes, like, I mean, Lee from Mahindra, he did everything. From day one, he just, you know, was interested. He phoned me every night to see if the tractor is okay, if I'm okay. And he didn't need to do that. He really didn't need to do that. I mean, he gave me a R1 million tractor, but he phoned me every single day to see if everything is okay. Is there anything we need? Is there anything wrong with the tractor? And so on. So I must say, the team around me is absolutely spectacular. You know, and I'm as proud of my team as you are of yours. And I can understand why you're proud of yours. But my team took me around South Africa. They brought me back safely. Zero hiccups, not one problem. Anywhere, everything was on time, every time. And that takes some doing.
Wow. You know, it's funny, we're talking about looks and stuff like that. And Pork Chop made a comment in the side chat. He said that you look like Sean Connery.
Can I call my wife and you can repeat that? That'd be fantastic.
We'll just call you.
No, I appreciate that a lot, but I really wish my wife was here. The first time ever I got a compliment. She's not anywhere inside.
Well, you can play this video. Yeah,
I'm going to do that.
I might call you 007 from now on.
That's all right with me. I'm a big 007 fan. I must say, Scott, the trip was fantastic. We are so excited about next year.
Yeah.
And once again, you know, South Africa is not the easy place to live in. Eh?
Yeah, that's right.
We're having hard times. We have load shedding when we have politics. We have criminality. We have not one of our government things actually function properly anymore. But yet still, of all of these things, the community that I wrote and that I met was absolutely awesome. And I can't possibly ask for more, except that next time I must ask the Ingekerk ladies to give me a little bit less milk tart, because as you can see my on the ground,
you put on a bit of weight.
Yeah, I'm the only person I know that can actually pick up weight on a 2.5 or 3,000 kilometer tractor ride. That's because of all the nice fingers I was fed along the road, and I love them for that. And they were so genuine, so warm. Once we actually had a very, very thick fog, and we actually were an hour late, which is not like us.
Yeah.
And we phoned them and said, listen, we can't drive in the fog. It is too dangerous for a motorbike. You know, I'm scared they're going to run a TJ over in the fog. And there's a lot of trucks in that specific road coming from KwaZulu-Natal.
Yeah.
So they said, no problem. They all waited for us next to the road for an hour longer than they anticipated. And people all have work. They all have farms. They all have children that must go or come from school. And we were so well received. And the receptions was just absolutely marvelous. You know, and Tabazimbi, I told you about Tabazimbi.
Yeah, the 200 people. 200 cars, right?
Yeah. Yes. When I arrived at the Tabazimbi, now I'm a bit slow sometimes, I think, and rightly so. And I saw those red lights and blue lights and things, and I thought it was an accident maybe on a mine, because it's a mining town.
Yeah.
And so I pulled off the road. and there's a fire brigade and the police doesn't come past, and I thought, gee whiz, mates, how more must they go off the road? So I went completely off the road into the grass, and I still didn't pass. And then I slowly started to realize that, hey, dude, get back onto the road. These people are actually riding with you. But I was surprised, so I didn't have any forewarning, so I automatically moved out of the road for the red and blue lights, and so on. So that was absolutely amazing. But every town, my town, which is Koster, I must say it's gone back a little bit. There's a lot of problems with the municipality, but the people are still fantastic despite all the hardships, you know. And Hartswater was a little jewel I feel like I've discovered by accident. And what a prosperous town, you know, with all the nuts and the olives and
Where
the
is
people are so proud of. In the Northern Cape.
Wow. Okay, that's very dry up there, isn't it?
Yes, but they have a canal system there. I don't exactly know how the canal system work, but they have a canal system there, and they do a lot of nuts up there. When I spoke to you, the first 4 or 5 takes, I kept on calling them nuts, macadamia nuts, which is not. We have the macadamia nut. They have the pecan nuts. So poor Hank have to keep on showing me, yeah, man, number 4 now. It is not macadamia nuts, it's pecan nuts. So he was very patient. But what a beautiful town. We were so well received there, so well treated, and so on. So we're actually thinking that we want to make that part of our trip on a regular basis, if they will allow us back. That is another question. You know, oftentimes TJ and myself go to a town first time, and the second time is to apologize. So
you block up the roads, do you?
Hey?
You block up the roads.
Yeah, yes, we do. We do. Now, I must tell you this. There was this lady, very proper lady in a Fortuner. She was flashing her lights a little bit behind me, and I could see she wanted to pass. But I couldn't get off the road more than I already did. That was not possible. And this lady was very, very impatient. It was just before we entering a town, and then eventually I put on my indicators to show her that she can pass now. It's safe. There's no cars coming. And when she drove past me, that lady forgot. At my age, I can read lips. Man, she made a blood stool in my body. Yeah, you know, and ladies, please, if you drive past us on a tractor, we are slow. I know we are slow. You know, it suits my personality, by the way. I remember I can read lips.
So
if you want to,
you do have road rage because of the speed you're going at.
Yes. Yes, this lady was quite unimpressed. With anything I tried to do to get her past me. She was obviously on a mission somewhere, and rightly so. I mean, it is her road as well, and so forth. But in general, the people come past, they wave at us, they put us thumbs up, they you know. We had a wonderful experience, Scott. I've forgotten the name of the place now we were now. It was in Limpopo somewhere before Tabazimbi. We were driving, and it's a beautiful area. There's a lot of bushveld there, marula trees and things. And suddenly this guy waved TJ down in front, and then he stopped. And then he stopped me. And they actually saw us on Facebook or something, and he actually wanted to give us a meet. So he gave us a kudu steaks. He gave us wood, he gave us firelighters, he gave us a box of matches, he gave us each a cold drink, and he said, listen, tonight, please go enjoy your braai. Now, how nice is that? You know, that the guy will stop you on the road and actually give you all the things to be able to make a braai for yourself and your colleagues. And I thought, just like, that was nice. I mean, you know, you didn't have to do that. You could just offer us a cold drink.
Now, look, you've travelled right around South Africa, and obviously you had a lot of braais when you were travelling around, and you had a lot of milk test, and I love milk test, and it's been years since I've had it. But with all those braais, where was the tenderest meat in South Africa from all those different places you went to? Was there one place where the meat was just absolutely amazing?
Right, I'm going to make some enemies here because every area is proud. But I must say the most tastiest meat for my taste,
Yeah.
and has been proven over and over, and that's not and that is in Appington. There's something about the meat in Appington that I just love. I don't know if it's the kind
That's
of felt
interesting.
that they have there. Yeah, and we have a lady there we call her Granny Food. Evelyn is her name, and she always makes us food with me there. Now she always asks, "Listen, Andre, what do you want to eat?" And I always lamb shanks and things are expensive, so I don't want her to make lamb shanks and things. I mean, we're a crew of people, right? And so I asked her to make us some afval, which she made it. It was finger licking good. But I must say, I found the sheep, the lamb there very good. Although I'm a sheep person, I prefer sheep above lamb.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my age group. In my days on the farm, we didn't slaughter the youngsters. We slaughtered the older ones. And I must say, yeah, Appington and that area is and the cold areas, the Free State as well, got beautiful biltong. My favorite biltong is definitely in the colder areas of the Free State.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because I love Springbok biltong. That is so tasty. And
Yeah, I unashamedly hinted on every radio station, TV station, including yours, about biltong, and so forth. So luckily, somebody took pity on me twice and gave me biltong. So hopefully next year we're gonna have a whole stash, because I actually want to send you over, if I can get it through your customs, of course, pakkie biltong if we can.
oh, that'd be fantastic. It's been a while
Yeah,
since
but
I've
we
had
have to
biltong.
find something else.
Yeah. Now, your ride was to raise money, and you
Yes.
raised R250,000
Yes.
as a result of your ride. Do you want to talk
Right.
about the charity that you've created, or the organisation that you head up, and what its objectives are, and if anyone has got some spare cash lying around, where they can contact you or send the money over to you?
Gladly so. All right, we're a medical NGO. We started in 2017. I'm a retired neurosurgeon. Not, my wife says you must be careful how you pronounce that. Not retarded neurosurgeon, but retired neurosurgeon. And we are a medical NGO. Now, the one program that we do is 1,000 surgeries for 1,000 children. And that's
Right.
a 15-year project. And then we have the clinical medical one, which is where basically we take your child to a doctor, we do the lab test, we do the X-ray test, we do the pathology, and then of course the treatment or referral after that. And then program number 3 is nutrition for small children. We need to make sure that children do not get growth stunted, because that stunting damage is permanent in the brain. And then our fourth project is we do outreaches. Now, an outreach is where we are a whole group of doctors and OTs and dentists, and we go to a informal settlement. Our last informal settlement we went to just before the truck ride was a Katoen here in White River, and that is a mostly exclusively white settlement. But we do all kinds of settlements, not only white or not only black, so we don't really care what your name is and so forth. And then the last one we do is, of course, we respond to disasters. Now, since we've started in 2017, we've responded to, I think, 4 disasters. The first one was Cyclone Idai, which was Mozambique. That was a big one. That kept us very, very, very busy. And there we handed out 102,000 doses of cholera medication. The second one was Cyclone Eloise, and it was in Limpopo. And then the third one was the farms that burned down in Hartsoval area, where the farmers, we helped them with medical things for 6 months, where the farmer, his children, and the farmer's workers could go to our private GP up there, and we paid a bill. We did that through the Vroue Vereniging. And then the last one, of course, was our old friend COVID, which we turned into a massive food distribution organization. So that is basically what we do. But we have two big events for raising funds for surgeries. The first one is our February ride with the track after the motorbike. And with that event, we raise money for general surgery for everyday children. And then with the tractor ride, we raise for very specific children that have larger surgeries that needs a lot of money. And I'm actually very happy and proud to tell you today, we actually did one of those surgeries this very day. It was a little guy, had a very severely deformed club foot. Now, normally we don't do the surgery on club foot. We just do the manipulation and so on. He actually required surgery. And then our next one we're going to do is a little girl that the one leg is quite considerably longer than the other one. So that is the next one we're going to do. And I think, if I'm correct, it's either tomorrow or Monday that's going to happen. But the little one with the club foot was completed today. She's happily tucked in the bed in the hospital, and everything is looking great. And that is because of the people that I'm speaking to now made it possible for us.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fantastic. And I don't think people actually understand that without their help, we are genuinely just a website. That's all we are.
Yeah.
Because we don't get any funding from the government of any kind. Your guess is as good as mine. Why not? I have my theories, but I'm not going to lie on the air. So we have to do all the fundraising ourselves, and I mean we try and help a lot of children.
Yeah.
Children don't ask anything, man, Scott. A child asks two things in life. Okay, a chance and some love. That's all he asks. The rest he will do for himself. So we try and do that. But also, we always need money. Of course, I have a saying that says that doctors do not save lives, money does, which is partly true. If we're a group of 5 doctors standing around a patient bed with nothing to help him with, we're just moral support. Really, we're just bystanders. We can be the 5 best doctors in the world standing around the patient's bed. If we don't have the equipment or the medication to assist, then we are just bystanders. And that is not correct. No child deserves bystanders. The only bystanders in his life must be his mom and dad, and we actually need to be able to do something. So I'm also asking, if I may, if you allow me, any doctor in South Africa, in any town in South Africa, ranging from Pofadder to Vryheid to Tabazimbi, anywhere in between, we ask always that any general practitioner contact us on our website and become a volunteer to do, say, 2 pro bono cases for 2 children in a year to assist us if we have a child in your area that is too far to come to us. For example, if you have a child in Pofadder that need assistance he can't come to, where we ask not possible, we want to send him to a local GP there to get the proper diagnosis. Once we have the correct diagnosis, then we can make an intelligent decision on what is next in line for the child. So we are asking if there's any doctor out there or any hospital out there, with a private hospital, pro bono theatre time. Guys, pro bono theatre time is a killer for us. It's very, very expensive. So if you can give us either a discounted rate or maybe for smaller surgeries, a free theatre time, say grommets or one of the smaller surgeries, we will be so appreciative to you, and you'll change your guy's child's life.
Yeah. Now, how do people contact you? What's the best way?
Right. Our website is www.pediatriccareafrica.org. I'm going to repeat that for you quickly. It's www.pediatriccareafrica.org. All the information is there if you want to make a donation, or if you want to become a volunteer, and even just support. We all get a little bit down sometimes, and if we get a nice email from someone who says, geez, guys, you did well, man, that is fantastic. Because you must remember, all the people that work in this organization are all volunteers. All of them, no exception. Nobody receives a salary. So they're all volunteers, and we have them countrywide, and they are diligent, and they are great, and it's fantastic. And so thank them, because they are definitely our heroes, and so forth. And you must remember, a lot of people think trouble always hits the other person. I always think, no, it's not going to happen to me. It's going to hit other people. And we all think that. And I have a surprise for most of the guys listening to us tonight. You are the other person for about 9 billion people. All right, so the odds that something will happen to your child is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Considering the odds, 90 billion to 1 that something will happen to your child. So help us to help a child, because next week it may be yours. You know, you have a job. Say, for example, you work as a mechanic in a garage. Perfectly good job. Perfectly good, stable salary. You can look after your family, your wife, or whatever. The owner and his wife divorce. Whoops, the garage closes down. You're without work. And to find another job before your savings is up is very difficult, if not impossible in today's economy. And you need help because you are not, or temporarily not able to look after your child the way you would love to. Yeah. And we would love to take over temporarily that burden from you to help your child until you can get back on your feet again. So these things happen to all of us at any time. Life threw you a curveball. You get divorced and you have a problem. You get fired, you have a problem. You had one beer too many and you have a major problem and you lose your job and so forth. You bump a guy in the road in a road rage and you have a problem. So trouble have a way to find us. So we need to help each other. If that trouble finds us, that there is somebody that can say, Scott, no worries, man. Send your child to us. We will help him until you're back on your feet. And that is what it's like a community.
No,
we are a community.
No, Andre, I typed in pediatriccare.org and it came up with no website. I tried with the PAED and with PED, and neither.
Yeah, we spell the American way PED.
Okay, because it's at, when I do that, it comes up with GoDaddy and it says this domain name is available.
Oh, well, I have no idea. Let me go into our website quickly. I don't know if I can do it while you're here.
Oh, look, don't worry. I'll tell you what, after the live stream, just drop the website address in the side chat, and I will put it below the video so that people can contact you there.
Okay. Yeah. Because I just went in there now. I just read our story that was placed on our Facebook today.
Yeah.
So it is definitely working. That we must be doing something wrong. But I can put on a chat here. Let me just quickly on the chat. www.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We just need to make sure that we've got a working contact phone number for this.
Yep, that should do it.
Okay, fantastic. All right, I'm going to. I think you had a slightly different spelling. I'm just going to pull that up. Okay, I don't need that.
Sorry, my spelling's also wrong, man. I must change my glasses.
Right.
But I'm going to try that for you again, Scott. Sorry, and this time I'm going to actually look properly when I'm.
Okay, just while Andre is doing that, guys.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep. Remember to register on lovinglifetv.com to be kept informed, and please subscribe to our daily newsletter, which has. It's the most comprehensive newsletter around when it comes to issues related to South Africa, and it costs you nothing. It's free. So please do that. And we have live streams 5 nights a week, Monday to Friday. Weekends we take a break. And we cover just about everything you can think of in our live streams. We always have guests and discuss a whole range of stuff. Now, how are you going there, Andre?
I put it on for you now. It's the correct one. My apologies. I see now that behind the Africa, the first one I didn't do the A, but that's correct. If you click on that, it must definitely take to our website.
Okay, it says this site can't be reached. I think you left
Okay, yeah.
I think you left the E out. I think I've got it now. Okay, I'm just going to put an E in here. You left an E out after you hit a pediatric car instead of care. Let me just
Oh my
see.
goodness gracious! It's time for me to go to bed.
Now, talking about your trip again, you hit one particular patch of road, which was absolutely shocking. I mean, that was between Christiana and Herzogville. Tell us about your experience on that bit of road.
Yes.
Okay, this has worked. Okay,
I must say it was a bit of a shock. It was a bit of a shock. We came over the Vaal River on a bridge. I think the town is Christiana, and suddenly we had this really reasonably nice road. You have a pothole here or two, but it wasn't a disaster. And then suddenly you had this road. My goodness. It's not so much the potholes that bothers the tractor. It is the sudden dips. Then it starts bouncing, and tractors don't like these sudden dips. And then apparently some places the road tend to just kind of disappear as a thin strip of tar left, but you can see all the vehicles and the tractors and things on the left-hand side. But I have to say, I overtook 2 donkey carts and a horse cart on that road. But I think the second donkey cart, his wife said to him, "Listen, you get a guy, leave the guy, let him come past." So I'm quite proud that I actually overtook 3 vehicles on that road. Even their donkey carts, nevertheless, a car is a car.
I love those donkey carts. I remember when I was traveling
They are.
between Bloem and Philippolis, and this is the main road, the tarred road, and there was this little donkey cart
Yes.
going along, and it was so cute. I had to stop and take photos. You had these 2 Griquas driving the donkeys, and it was
Yes.
just absolutely. It takes you back in time, doesn't it?
Yes. I must say that the horse I saw, he was a bit scrawny. I felt a bit sorry for him.
Yeah.
He didn't look like he'd get a lot of TLC, and he was very, very scrawny. He had shaving marks on his sides and so on. So I wasn't so happy to see that. But nevertheless, I didn't look back when I went past. But yes, I'm very proud. I overtook 3 moving vehicles on that road. I didn't overtook any moving vehicles on any other road, by the way.
Oh, wow. Now, we've talked about road rage, we've talked about barbecues, we've talked about just about everything. But what we haven't talked about is this huge event you got planned next year. Do you want to tell us about
Yes.
this motorbike ride? Because, I mean, that's going to be huge.
We hope so, yes. That is our 5th motorbike ride around South Africa. It's called Ride for a Child. And that motorbike ride goes to all the most northern, eastern, western, and southern points of South Africa. And the purpose for that traveling around South Africa is to make a circle around our kids in this country to show them, guys, we do care about you. So our most northern point is the Zimbabwean border. Our most eastern point will then be Alexander Bay, which is where the Orange River runs into the sea, and Namibia. Then we have in the Cape Agulhas, I think it's our most southern point. And then St. Lucia is our most eastern point. You can go a little bit further. You can go to Cozy Bay, but I can't go with my bike because it's a dirt road. My bike, Harley Davidson, don't like dirt roads. We are gentlemen. We only drive on tar road.
It's a bit precious, isn't
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So that is the route all around the whole of South Africa, and we make stops. Our first big stop is in Appington, where we stop over 2 days. You have to wash clothing a little bit and so forth. But then we also have a ritual that we go and visit a few orphanages, and we are spoiled to death by Woolworths in Appington. What awesome people. And then, of course, also the Bulls Club, which is a motorbike club in Appington. They also have auction fairs at night. They invite guests, and they made a lot of effort always for us. Yeah, and then our next, then we basically start losing motorbike riders because now we're going through the Kalahari towards Springbok and those places, and there's not many motorbike riders there. A lot of Springkane, but not many motorbike riders. And then we do Alexander Bay, which there's nobody there to ride with us, which is fine. And then we move up towards Cape Town. And then, of course, you start getting the riders again. And then from Cape Town all the way through Natal and Eastern Cape, fantastic support by riders. And then this year, or next year rather, we want to have 4,500 motorbikes in tandem riding with us on the same speed at 50 kilometers an hour at the same time without losing rank for 50 kilometers. And we're going to do that on the N2 from the George side of Mossel Bay. So we're going to go on the George side. So if you're coming from East London, you'll have to drive past your destination first to join us. And then we're all going to stop there on the N4 or the N2, whatever it's called. Let me just see if it's the N4 or the N2. Let me just see. I can't see now if it's the N4. I think it's the N4.
But it'll be on your website, won't it?
Yes, it will be, definitely so.
Yeah.
Yes, it definitely will be so. But that's the main road. And then we will all depart at a certain time. There's actually going to be a whole weekend in Jeffreys Bay. The people in Jeffreys Bay offering, the whole town is behind us, and the whole town is excited. The whole town is pitched in and doing this thing. So we had a meeting with them today, and their ideas what they want to do. They're going to have a music concert for the guys that come on the evening before, and of course for the guys that come for day that we're there. They're giving very special prices for accommodation. There's all kinds of prizes to win. As much beer possibly as you can drink, hamburgers, food, and then we have some stalls, of course, where you can buy memorabilia from us, which is basically your Ride for a Child badge. You can buy the cookbook there, and it's going to be a whole jolly thing. On a Sunday morning, they have arranged for us a church. There's a church also in the premises that we're going to, and we have parking for 5,000 motorbikes. And the people in Jeffreys Bay is going to bring all the food, all the drinks, all the cigarettes, all the things that 6,000 motorbikers can consume to the area overnight. And they're going to have enough loos and everything for all the ladies. It's quite a big venue. They are used to hosting quite big venues, but they also put up porta potties and things everywhere.
Wow. Well, that's going to be going for a Guinness Book of Records ride, isn't it?
Yeah, not the Guinness, the American one. The Guinness Book of Records charged us £10,000. So I said, sure, £10,000 in rands, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we go with the guys in the US. Let me just see what is their name.
If you get that number, you will have the record.
Yes, we will have the record. Yes,
fantastic.
It's going to be officially done.
You know, when you talk about Jeffreys Bay, it's an amazing community, but it reminds me of one of his crank calls that I heard way back in the 1980s. Remember Long John Burke's Radio 702?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, the guy with the voice.
Yeah, and he used to make these crank calls, and he made one to Gary Player. And it was absolutely hilarious, and he phones up Gary Player and he pretends to be the chairman of the local golf club, and it's like somewhere like Victoria West, in the middle of nowhere, and he says, Gary was celebrating our 40th anniversary, and we want you to be our guest of honor, and Gary Player is saying, look, I can't because I've got all these commitments, but Gary. The ladies, they've made little jelly molds of you. Gary Player is totally, he's flustered. And then he says, Gary Player, this is Long John Burke's.
I remember him. I listened to him in the mornings on 702.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
A long time ago. Is he still alive? I don't think so.
No, he passed away a few years ago, unfortunately. But he was a character. Now,
very, very much so.
Yeah. Now, look, I think we'll wrap up the live stream. We covered just about everything, I think. Is there something you'd like to say or message you'd like to give people before we wrap up?
Yes. Once again, I really want to thank. I am so proud to be a South African. Really, I lived outside of South Africa for 28 years, and for many days, I thought I made such a big mistake of building my house in South Africa, investing and bringing pediatric care Africa to South Africa. It wasn't a mistake at all, although I did feel so from time to time. The people of South Africa make up much more than all the governmental issues that we have and the road shedding that we have, and so forth. So the people of South Africa, I salute you. You are my hero, and you will stay my heroes. And our farmers, we need you. Please do not immigrate to Australia. Even Scott will tell you that's great over there, or to Canada, simply because we need you here.
You know what the tragedy is when it comes to the farmers? Is you got this idiot running the country that I'm talking about, Ramaphosa, and he does not admit or do anything about the farm attacks and the farm murders in South Africa. I mean, we had Peter Sito, who we basically support on Loving Life TV. He went to the BRICS conference, and you know what? He was just with his little team. There were about 3 or 4 guys. They had the banners out there saying "Stop farm murders," it's destroying food security, all this sort of stuff, and there wasn't anyone else there. They knew he was going there, but he was by himself. And I thought that is just such a shame that organizations like AfriForum don't send a group of people or farmers come to actually support the cause.
Yeah, I must say we received so much because we had the stop the farm murders in the back of the tractor and the trailer, and the reason why we put it there is it's the most prominent spot. Yeah, you cannot pass the tractor and trailer without reading that. Yeah, and so on, and that created a lot of good. I don't know what the exact word is for that. We bonded so greatly with a lot of people on the road, that had bad experiences or know people that had bad experiences. But look, the farmer in South Africa, I'm going to be very, very honest with you in the world, that we need the farmers much more than they need us. Yeah. And that is a fact of life. Our farmers are welcome in America. There's a lot of them that is already farming there. Our farmers are welcome in Australia. They don't get, so yes, we need to keep our farmers here because the only difference between lack of food and anarchy is the spelling.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't know if you heard, but Russia has just set up a special enclave in the southern part of Russia for South African farmers. And they're inviting 300 families, farming families, to go and set up in Russia. And there's been a mad scramble for farmers to do that because of these farm attacks.
Yeah. And the thing is, they will be successful because our farmers, look, I'm a surgeon. I need to be good at a small number of things. I need to be really good at a small number of things. I need to understand, I need to have a good in-depth understanding of a number of small things. But a farmer, unlike me, you need to be a veterinary surgeon. You need to be you need to be a weather guy. You need to be a finance guy. Yeah, massively strong in finance. You need to know when to put this. You need to know when to put that. The number of skills that the farmer requires, or requires to be a successful farmer, is enormous. That a simple guy like myself can never fulfill his shoes, even if I try. And nobody that think that he can just take a guy's farm and be a successful farmer will succeed. He will not, because it takes years of experience, but much more than experience, it takes heart and soul. If you don't have a heart and a soul for farming, you will never farm properly. The farmers just given to you because of whatever political reasons. So I'm really pleading with our farmers, guys, stick with us. We're all fighting for you. We really are. Yeah. Australia is doing great things. They talk on Australian television about Malema and the things that's happening in South Africa. They do it a lot. I spoke to the Dutch guys 3 or 4 times on the tractor ride. So the world is starting to hear our plea. I know it's not a lot, and I know it's not definitely not what you want to hear. That we will ask you to wait, but we are trying, and it seems that there's some change on the horizon now. Hopefully, what's going to happen is that the countries like Australia and so forth are going to say, listen, you have to stop this, otherwise we're going to do A, B, and C to you, or we're going to withhold A, B, and C from you. And that is what we need. I mean, we went through the time that we have sanctions. They work, no doubt about it. They are slow, but they're effective. You can resist sanctions only for so long. And these guys starting to put sanctions on things, but not that it's going to hurt your already impoverished population in the farmer. I mean, they're already poor, they're already sickly. So they must put something that will only hurt the elite that is actually responsible for these things. Now, how they're going to do that, I don't know. I'm not a politician, way too dumb for that.
Well,
that's what we hope.
I can think of an easy way. Just throw them all behind bars.
Yeah,
that's the easiest way.
But it seems I saw a joke today that we have a new drive-through system in South Africa. You zoom in, zoom out. And so on. So
that was his experience at Escort.
We are fighting.
That was Zuma's experience at the Escort prison.
Exactly. So we have that system now as well. And so forth. But we're really trying, guys. We are really trying. So help us to help you. Fight with us. We're doing the same thing. I may not be a farmer. You may think, oh, this guy, what does he know? He sits in an office. I probably don't know enough. But what I lack in knowledge, I make up in enthusiasm and the number of people I am able to reach. We have quite a wide reach of people. We speak to masses of people on national televisions and so forth. So, and that gives us a little bit of reach to people that is willing to listen. So, once again, I know I said it my third time before I say goodnight. Guys on your farms, hang in there. Be brave. We are with you. We are you, and we are trying our best.
Right. 007, I have to say thank you so much for joining me tonight. And have a great evening, and we'll see you again hopefully before you do your big motorbike stretch.
Absolutely, yes, we need to do that. But of course, I'm 61 years old now, so I can't do this. I don't have so many 5-year cycles left if I do my maths very quickly. So I start needing to look at some youngsters that can take over for me in the future. Because this thing, Pediatric Africa, and what we do and what we stand for is much, much bigger than just me. And it needs to be sustainable for generations to come. And not only a temporary blip on the horizon, because our children need us, and we will definitely do everything in our ability to help them. Because
Fantastic.
They deserve it, and so forth. So,
all right. Well, thank you so much, Andre. Have a great evening, and we'll catch up again soon.
Scott, don't forget to send my wife that thing about the Sean Connery, because she's not going to believe it.
Well, I'll send you the link, and you can ask her to listen.
All right.
All right, buddy.
Can you ask her to repeat it a few times?
Well, I've got to say your hair, and it's when you get to the chin it kind of comes unstuck, but the top half you could look like Sean Connery.
All right, I'll be talking like this from now on. Then.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure, and to the guys listening to us tonight, thank you so much. It was absolutely wonderful, and a pleasure and an honor to be able to chat to you guys.
Yeah, and keep up the great work on your side. Cheers, mate.
I promise we will.
Bye for now. All right, guys, that was Andre Hattingh, and what a great guy. I mean, he's doing great work, and he's got a great sense of humour. I really do like talking to him. All right, I'm going to go out with Hier Bly Ek Boer. And don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Johannesburg time, we will be live again. Probably on the supplementary channel, because last time they pulled that trick. I'm talking about this woman in South Africa who works for YouTube. They actually had me unable to send live streams on my main channel for a week. So I'll monitor that, and it'll either be this one or the other. So do subscribe to the secondary channel as well. All right, guys, take care. Have a great evening. And here comes Hier Bly Ek Boer. And thanks to the mods for the great work that you guys do.
Ons voorvaders het op die grens vir ons gesterwe, sodat ons vry kan wees. Die is my land, die is my reg. Hier is ek boer. Van stof is ek gemaak en sal ek terugkeer. Die Bybel is die woord waaruit ek leer, soos die grond op die aarde. Hier bly ek boer. Soos 'n dief in die nag sal die vyand kom, maar hier bly ek staan en ek draai nie om, want jy maak my nie bang nie. Hier bly ek boer. Die is my land waarvoor ek sal veg. Die is my bloed, my sweet, my reg. Die is die plek waar my voorvaders leef. Die is my land, hoor wat ek jou sê. Die is my land, wat my mense voer. Hier bly ek boer. Soos 'n blaassem in die somer wat vreugde bring. My oupa wat maniekiru kon sing, soos hy stap deur die lande. Hier was hy boer. My wortels lê diep in die grond geplant. My seun soos my pa los ek vir jou die land, en jy hoef nie te vrees nie. Hier sal jy boer. My land waarvoor ek sal veg. Die is my bloed, my sweet, my reg. Die is die plek waar my voorvaders leef. Die is my land, hoor wat ek jou sê. Die is my land, wat my mense voer. Hier bly ek boer. Die sal kom. Die leeu sal kom, 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 die leeu sal kom.